What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to, of course, be talking about with you guys. Some pretty crazy news that has just kind of recently come out that I'm honestly super shocked by, with it now currently being reported that Pascal Siakam is apparently still on the trade block for the Toronto Raptors, and that the Dallas Mavericks are now the favorite to actually try and trade for him. In fact, they have made multiple calls to the Toronto Raptors saying that they would like to trade for him. And the last time I got a report, which was 2 days ago, saying a team had made multiple calls for a player, was actually Caris LeVert and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we know that at the time of this video coming out, that Caris LeVert is now officially a Cleveland Cavalier, which makes me think that there is actually a much bigger chance now than what a lot of people think that Pascal Siakam could be a Dallas Maverick. Now, the report to say that the Dallas Mavericks have made a lot of calls to the Toronto Raptors for Pascal Siakam, and this is all being reported by Matt Moore. Now, before I get into why I don't think the Toronto Raptors should necessarily do this deal, I would also like to say that I don't think the Dallas Mavericks should do this deal. Now, I know a lot of people have their different opinion on the Mavericks, but the way I see it working over there is, I honestly believe there is a player who I think would be perfect for them to go out and get. In Miles Turner, I genuinely believe that Miles Turner would make so much sense for this Dallas Mavericks team. The reason I say this is because I just can't see Kristaps Porzingis playing the 5 in the NBA anymore. He is way too slow defensively getting back to that center position. It is legitimately crazy, like, how it's just a bit of an effort for this guy for some reason to get down to the court and guard up on a center. Not just that, every time he gets posted up, it doesn't always go right for him. He's a pretty easy player to post up and then get a kind of fadeaway jumper on, or even just get under him and get a layup or something like that. I know that sounds pretty sus saying a player getting under him, but it's just how it is. I just don't rate him at the 5, but when he's at the 4, I actually don't mind it at all, because look, he does sometimes struggle to guard players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I'm much more happier with a dude like Kristaps Porzingis going out and guarding a guy like Kevin Love on the perimeter now than guarding a dude, potentially like Jarrett Allen in the interior. Like, 9 times out of 10 at this point, he just gets absolutely bodied, and I know a lot of people have their different opinion to me, but I just don't rate him guarding the center position anymore. Not saying he's really that much better guarding the 4, but I think he is a little better at doing that. The other thing is, as well, I think the Dallas Mavericks agree with me on this, because for the most part this season, they have been playing him at the 4, and then playing dudes like Dwight Powell at the 5. I know they've run a lot more of Kristaps at that 5 in more recent kind of weeks, I believe, but again, it just doesn't seem like it's necessarily happening too much. Plus, they're giving Marquise Chris now some minutes at that 5, and look, you still look at it like this, Dwight Powell has still played 53 games and started 42 of them at that center position, so clearly they have the intentions of playing Kristaps at the 4. So I feel like go out and get Miles Turner, a dude that can guard the interior really well and can also space the floor and hit threes for Luka. I think that makes a lot more sense of a potential trade to do. But if they go out and get Pascal Siakam, who I have been very critical on in recent years, saying he is not that good of a defender, he has really proven me wrong though this year. His defense has literally doubled what it was last year. Like, last year his defense was really inconsistent. Didn't look like he was trying that much. It was pretty poor, to be honest. But this year the dude is having games where he's guarding small ball 5 and is doing well at it. Like, he and Barnes have, rotated in guarding the 5. They've also had Boucher guard some games, who's, not the tallest dude out there, who started, I think, a little bit at the 5. Cam Birch has played a little bit there too. When I look at it like this, I'm just thinking, well, yes, his defense has picked up, but if you're going to get Pascal Siakam, I would assume you would play him at the 4, right? Meaning that Kristaps Porzingis would move back to the 5. And honestly, a lot of you guys might disagree with me, because, look, it really depends on your thoughts and opinions on Kristaps Porzingis. A lot of people, half the people watching this will say yeah, I agree with you. He needs to play the 4. He just can't guard the 5. The reason the Dallas Mavericks aren't playing him at the 5 right now is because he has had a lot of trouble in the past guarding it. But then half of you might be like, well, has Kristaps improved on his defense this year? Does he deserve to maybe get another go at playing a full-time 5 position? And would Pascal Siakam be the right dude to put with him? Because, again, keep in mind, Siakam's defense has improved like 10 times what it was last season. His interior defense has greatly improved, and his perimeter defense is, honestly, I think nearly one of the best in the NBA at this point. Because, yeah, it would have to be, right? Because he's been so good this season. Look, I'm not saying he should be an all-star because his defense one game can be bad, but the other game can be elite, and he does have some inconsistent games. But I do think he's been pretty good this season. Again, people will say, who should make the all-star team to replace maybe Durant? Will it be Siakam? Will it be Allen? I honestly think it should be Allen, but I'm a Cavs fan, so I might have some bias there. So maybe don't care about my opinion at all. But hey, I don't really know. Maybe Siakam does make it. Maybe LaMelo Ball makes it. Who even knows? The other thing is, he would be an arm and a leg to trade for at the moment because his trade value is like at an all-time high, and there's really not as many stars and role players up for trade as in previous years and stuff like that. So realistically, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, to straight away matchup contracts, you're going to have to give up a bunch of very, very quality role players, and that would most likely be, Jalen Brunson would have to be in the deal. Like, you got to give up someone good. It'd probably be like Jalen Brunson, Tim Hardaway, and Dwight Powell. That will somewhat match up contracts. Probably not really, but when you take into account that Jalen Brunson will be getting an extension probably next year, it probably doesn't help the contract matching this year, but hey, he's going to be on a bit next year. Again, Jalen Brunson, and of course Tim Hardaway, still a dude that will average like 15 per game if he was to come off the bench for the Raptors. And then Dwight Powell is just Dwight Powell. He's not very good. He probably won't play many minutes, but at least you get a big man in return. And then you'd probably have to give up like 2 first-round picks, and even then, I still don't think the Toronto Raptors would do it because Dwight Powell is just not a very good player. Jalen Brunson is a pretty good player, but dude, the Toronto Raptors need a dude like that. Probably not. They're looking for those lankier players that can play great defense. So that, again, kind of maybe rules out Tim Hardaway as well. So yeah, that trade probably doesn't get done. There's probably a much better trade out there, but honestly, I just don't even care because I don't think this deal is getting done to the point where is there much of a reason to bring up another mock trade? I'm not sure. Dallas should maybe go for someone like Goran Dragic, who's up for trade right now. I think he would actually help out the Dallas Mavericks team, and he has barely played for the Raptors this season. So I don't even know why he put on a Raptors jersey to begin with, to be honest. Pretty weird. But, again, the Raptors, they don't need to trade Siakam. What would the point be? He is currently averaging a cool 21 points per game on 8.5 rebounds, 35% from 3. Again, that is in 38 minutes per game, believe it or not. And his perimeter defense has been, at some games, some of the best in the NBA. His interior has been a lot better this season, but let's be honest here, he's still not the greatest interior defender. So it is an issue. I still think the Raptors need a 5. But maybe that's what they say to the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe if they traded away Goran Dragic, they could get in a dude like Moses Brown, who might play some minutes. I mean, he's a tall, lanky bloke who I think could get some minutes on this Raptors team. So maybe that's more of a trade that they look at. But yeah, I just don't see how this deal gets done. But yet, the Dallas Mavericks have made multiple calls to the Raptors for Pascal Siakam. Again, if I didn't say this was reported earlier, I apologize. It is Matt Moore who is reporting on this. Again, it is really, really weird, though, that this is reported, because the last report I saw saying that a team has made multiple calls was for Caris LeVert, and the Cavaliers actually got him. So, is there a chance? Are the Dallas Mavericks actually trading for Pascal Siakam? There's actually a funny comment on this report saying that the Raptors have made multiple calls for Luka Doncic. That is pretty funny. I actually don't mind that. But again, it is a really, really weird one. I don't think it gets done. But hey, I mean, multiple calls. If anything, that has been a sign recently for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe it's a sign for Dallas Mavericks fans. Raptors fans, please don't hate at me. I've already said I don't think this trade's happening. Again, I don't know what much more I could have said, but Raptors fans, they tend to give out a lot of hate to me for some reason, so I'm expecting it. I'm bracing up for it just because I'm making this video, even though I'm kind of agreeing with them, but it's how it is. I know Dallas fans, he would actually be pretty cool, but I don't think he's the right player. I'd prefer to go for a Miles Turner dude if I was a Mavericks fan. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all latest NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MIRL/Long Channels, and check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. All of them will be linked in the description down below. And of course, don't forget to comment. Comment your thoughts and opinions. Should they maybe make a trade that does this? Should the Raptors look at it? Should the Mavericks look at it? Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. I would definitely very much like to know. But as I was saying, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.